Zahari and I'm a Chief Operating Officer. So today I will explain about our introduction. In Chapter 4, we learn about manufacturing account. Manufacturing account is an account in general ledger which is used to accumulate all the manufacturing costs of goods complete by business during an accounting period. The main purpose of preparing manufacturing account is to determine manufacturing cost of finished goods. For your information, manufacturing account is an account statement which summarizes many items of manufacturing cost with a view of determine the cost of finished good manufacturer.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Auni Masirah Binti Zolkepli and I will explain our business background. Our business name is Brites. We run a business scented candle with capital amounted to Rm20,000 from investor. We also make loan with SME bank amounted Rm100,000 using Nurul Hanan's name. Our company vision is to be the best among the best company that produce a quality scented candle with the best and appropriate price. While our mission is to provide scented candles that satisfy the taste and demand of consumers. Our company runs a business using a partnership concept and we had 5 members. Our first member is Nurul Hanan Binti Yusof as a Chief Executive Officer, Nuraini Binti Jalal as a Chief Financial Officer, Nadira Binti Zahari as a Chief Operating Officer. Then, Nurul Farah Ashikin Binti Zinal as Assistant Finance Manager and me, Auni Masirah Binti Zolkepli as Assistant Operating Manager. Our company also hired 2 workers for production and 1 worker for delivery van.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nuraini and I will be talking about information about the product. So our members decided to work on a product which is scented candle. The name is Brites. Scented candle is an injectable wick embedded in a wax that provides a pleasant aroma in the environment. Scented candle is not only attractive to look at but also very effective. Throughout the process of manufacturing, we were very conscious about choosing cost-effective raw materials and manufacturing procedures to maintain reasonable costs. We will be using wax, wicks, essence, color, and jar. Production process. First, we cut a bar of wax into half and put them into a heating container. We then heat up the container until the wax starts to melt. After reaching a minimum temperature, we drop colorings into the wax and stir it well. We prepare the jar and place candle wicks in each jars. Pour the melted wax into the jars, add the essence into the jar full of colored melted wax, let them cool off, start designing packaging, and finally we are all ready with scented candle.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nurul Ashikin Zinal and my position in this company is Assistant Financial Manager. So I will continue to present about the cost of raw material and cost of production per unit. Cost of raw material. Firstly, we have wax for 2,800. Secondly, glass jar for 5,000. Thirdly, we have essence for 200. Color for 150, and the last is candle wicks for 220. So the total of a raw material cost is 8,370 ringgit. So this is a cost of production per unit. For wax is 1 ringgit 40 cent. Secondly, glass jar for 2 ringgit 50 cent. Thirdly, essence for 10 cent. For color for 0.075 cents, and the last is candle wicks for 11 cents. And the total for the raw material cost per unit is 4 ringgit 90 cents. Prime cost, we have direct material for 5,800. Direct labor, we have delivery wages for 900. Production wages, we have 2,400. And in the direct expenses, we have royalty. We put 3% sale of production. And the last is rent on fill-in wet machine for 1,200. And the total cost of prime cost is 10,300. So this is the calculation of direct labor. For the production, we hire 2 labor. Their wages for a day is 40 ringgit, and for a month the total is 2,400. And for the delivery, we hire 1 labor. Their wages for a day is 30 ringgit, and for a month their salary is 900. So the totals of direct labor is 3,300.
Okay, so for the next one, which is factory cost, I'm Nurul Binti Yusof. As the CEO of Brites, will be presenting to you. So, how we get to calculate the all indirect costs is we total up the indirect expenses, indirect materials, and indirect labor. And the total of factory cost we get 14,293 ringgit. For the next one, which is production cost, or we known as factory overhead, we take prime cost and factory cost together and we total up, and the total production cost that we get is 24,593 ringgit.
Our total cost per unit to produce scented candle is Rm 12 ringgit and 31 cent. Our selling price per unit for a scented candle jar is 35 ringgit, and our profit is Rm 22 ringgit 69 cent. Our cost of finished good that we get from production per month time cost per unit is 8,380 ringgit. Our total closing inventory of finished good is Rm 17,500 ringgit. Our total closing inventories of raw material that we get from raw material bulk per month minus raw material used to produce good is Rm 2,095 ringgit. Then our closing inventories of work in progress is 6,155 ringgit. Then our company total sales in month that produce scented candle jar is 52,500 ringgit.
So in our manufacturing account for the year ended 31st March 2021, we start with opening inventory, but we don't have any opening inventory of raw materials, so we add with purchase raw material and minus closing inventory of raw material, and after that we got our cost of raw material consumed, that is 6,275. In our manufacturing account, we have direct labor and direct expenses. In our direct labor, we have delivery wages and production wages. While in our direct expenses, we have royalties, rent on fill-in wax machine, and direct material. We total direct labor and direct expenses, and then we got our prime cost. Our prime cost is 18,595. In our factory overhead expenses, we got indirect expenses, indirect material, indirect labor, and indirect costs. Indirect expenses, we have depreciation on heat machine wax and rent on building. Indirect material, we have packaging expenses, cleaning materials, repair and maintenance. And in our indirect labor, we have salary, administrative staff. We total this indirect material, indirect expenses, indirect labor, and indirect costs, and then we got our total production cost.
This is our trial balance. After we total up, the balance amount is 177,625. So at additional information, we have A, inventories at 31st March, which is closing inventories. For raw materials, we have 2,095 Closing interest for work in progress, we have 60,155 and closing for finished goods is 70,500. B. Salaries and administrative staff has not been paid amounted 5,195. And lastly, C. General expenses has not been paid amounted 300.
So for our statement of profit or loss for the month ended 31st March 2021, we managed to achieve sales 52,500, and after that we minus with cost of goods sold, add with production cost of completed goods, and minus with closing inventories of finished good, and then we get our gross profit 34,678 ringgit 75 cent. And after that we add with manufacturing profit, where we get 41,743 ringgit. And then we add with revenues and minus with expenses, where we have administrative expenses, selling and distribution expenses, and financial charges. And after we total out, we get the net profit 33,693 ringgit.
This is our statement of financial as at 31st March 2021. So after total up the non-current asset, we got 77,675, and all the current asset is 86,013. Total up both of the amount for non-current asset and current asset, we got 163,688. After that, minus 5 capital at net profit, we got 53,693. For non-current liabilities, we have 100,000, and the total of current liabilities is 9,995. After total up the three amount, we got the balance amount, which is 163,688.
So for the conclusions, as part of our study, we are selected to produce a scented candle in our company with a new capital. We learn how to prepare accounting statement to identify whether our scented candle sales are going to be profit or loss. Scented candle is a practical tool that we use to finish our project. We succeed in making profit after we are done calculation for the first year of selling scented candle. We are looking forward to upgrade some new feature in future to produce more scented candle and earn more profit in line with basis of time. We will add more machinery and other things to produce more scented candle, so we can increase our sale for the scented candle. Not to forget, we also will try to invent scented candle that never produced by any company. We hope that we can continue our business for a long time, so we can produce more scented candle and earn more profit in future.